ended up dying. You like personal example for you all. You all may be dealing with like going through a journey in general.
Like die, and he was like not affected by it really because
lady bashed her head in the window, and she was able to get in the car. Oh yeah, she did.
She delivered the baby. So the three characters that we
when you're a child, she's a grown woman having a baby. She's about looks like what it looks like to maybe let go and let loose, but understand
because she was driving a car and she drove the car, and baby pointed out that she was driving.
Why they didn't have a name. I think boy,
you know, she's pregnant.
So Greg, some people in the middle though too.
Yeah,
so they had like all realms. It was more of a universal.
Be a better person on your journey.
Right. And girl represent responsibility, and you know with children naturally you cannot be. You can visually see to it in approach to the movie as far as character. He was like, oh y'all having kids? Tom still shouldn't have taken that into his own. Not the limit at your company. You see what I'm saying?
So the next symbol that I picked out was the September to the next extreme. Like some people were super loving and caring, and other people you don't have, but you do have, but you don't see it. This hair is from Celie hair. It's their 613 and help you get
the rest of them height. Normally people see going on in life because they haven't had sight for however, you know, she also tried to kill herself, and then you know, it's not like she was going to drag Mallory out in the perspective and understand that, you know, even from a positive, to keep your balance intact. So but nobody was upset at Tom for letting Olympia in, even though Olympia didn't pose any threat.
My life expensive, don't care what it's cost.
And shut up. Who's already on the
even color. Make sure you probably dip the bundles while they're still. She's making music from it. It was very focused on helping everybody else. So he would have went around putting the oxygen mask on everybody.
Perspective, and he told them what was going down. As soon as everybody got in the house, Charlie said level of patience and understanding and so the things that I have, you know, I have to.
It just like sums it up because with jealousy, like you just want stuff. It was like my idea from Jump Street, just to cut a bang, and I took my scissors and I cut.
We figured that
it's like a negative thing. Like don't think of it as before the day journey. So yeah, the water was like a big part of their journey. So for me, it just symbolized.
Alright, so guys, yes, that's basically our character analysis. That's our
the destination for you, I think. But instead of it being like bird cage, bird box, so bird, like we said, represents like intuition. The birds represent intuition and peace. So it's like when that's shaking up underneath.
You can't be upset at them for needing assistance constantly. You see, like children force strike at. You know, for some people, it makes those bad parts. With what we call a glass ceiling, where you can no longer get, and you have to understand
because they only like started chirping in a box. Like you have your wedding ring or your engagement ring in a box. You put
truly love somebody as he did Mallory and as he did his sister, and
you have a chance to have 4 different control. And then she quoted, "Quote." If you ignore,
so balance, self-identity, and hope. You see what I'm saying?
And hope could be oxygen mask to protect the ones he loves. So it's like represents the emotions. And with this, follow this, you go left, right, up, or down, and it's up to you to figure out what.
To be a mother, she needs to wake up, and those are the facts. Also, the had he not been in that house,
did that. But of course, driving a car, it symbolizes like it's different paths you can take. So like you can go this way. Your journey is going to shape you into the person you need to be to predictability of life. And for me, like, as you know, like the signs or what.
That's it. We love you guys. I can completely see where they have an education. At this point in the movie, this is when I realized, oh, this movie is really about life.
They both kind of dealt with their demons already.
Getting to where I'm
your head up.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I'm getting to where I'm supposed to be. You with bad news, and you like, what else can go wrong? God's about to show you. You see what I'm saying? It's those type of wins.
Like, crash the car where Mallory would be hurt too, and she's pregnant. So dip your wig in. And basically, why it looks like this is because I wanted, like the first one, extreme first one is balance.
You'll be strong enough to get over it type of thing, you know? So that's what those people are, those kind of people in this movie that you just didn't know something eerie's going on.
Your valuables, you know.
So
it's like you put the bird in the box.
Off one. Tiana was able to point out, pick out the reason, season, or a lifetime. So we're going to break down the character analysis in or third eye type of car that he offered to people. So Charlie, Olympia, Greg, they're both people that
you angry, it's making you sad. You know, it's making you something that's like his wife died. So he's a realist. His line of work is bankruptcy law.
They did, but there's some people where I'm just like,
I don't remember.
Why did you do things do? What are your... You can see how all three of those kind of fit together, and those were basically the themes that we figured out, you know.
And this is how it turned out. You guys really... Yeah. Using that to get her to go through,
like, you know, doing what they had to do. Maybe their mama called them and was like, gotta like understand spoilers right here, but
and she about to pop.
Like something's not right. You see what I'm saying? So pay attention to all the signs, because like
kind of hot, you know.
So after Lydia, you got her husband Doug. I have a few people who've come into my life and I've had to kick out, and I didn't know.
We're just like standoffish and selfish, I guess.
And then they let us know, we don't know what else we're gonna do after this one. More of a like, I've made it, I'm here. This is, you know, that pop off that's gonna ruin the friendship. You might get cut from work. This is my final destination. She looked up to the sky.
All three of these like goes into love.
And this is why Mallory survives at the end. Self-identity may be questioned.
Push down to other people. So that's your darkness you got to deal with and you have to get over. So that's what darkness represents to me.
Your car might break down. You might trip. Your mother might call. Turn it around and makes an X.
If you turn to the side, it makes an X.
But you have cross. He had when that means a new journey. Lucy, their indiscretions came in. It seemed like a weak moment, but the weak moment was when new life was being born. Watch out for people like that. So that's the character analysis. Baby got some fire symbols for y'all.
Baby came to,
you know what I'm saying? So we came to
oneself. And
your face, but a very soft bird box. It was trying to look through the
screen.
Yeah, his security monitors to basically think that, like,
you know what I'm saying. And it's crazy. She sees lost her vision. It's like third eye, and I feel like I care about how the rest of it turned out, because I wanted it, like I said, I wanted to make sure the roots were dark. As you can see, the roots are pretty much the same, and so it's like all this. The darkness really came. It was like a wind blowing.
Irrationally, you may internalize all your problems. You may lash out. You're gonna die. You see what I'm saying? If you don't deal with your issues internally, you're
that's alive. Like, you know, one of the people that were already taken over.
Live like this. Been through a lot just to get like this.
Here, and I'm back with another hair review. A lot of you guys have been asking me what kind of hair I was rocking.
What they did directly
to your destination. If you're going through something, it's because you feel emotionally tied to it. It's making
sometimes
the hair, because I usually just do like regular blondes, but this time I wanted to give
you don't know who they're deeming.
Get to your destination there's by helping yourself. So it's basically the like a little bit of struggleness. So that's what I realized there's a calendar on the wall when the babies were
always what it looks like, and sometimes maybe, you know, yeah, it hurts, but no one knows nothing. Sometimes life calls for people to do things that make
you having your intuition in your box, you know. And also, box is spelled with the X. He died by a man, not even by like the entity. Like it was,
you know, he wasn't going to be affected that way. With Greg's situation, you don't know, like, if his husband is dead.
Freedom. You put like valuables in a box.
I was just about to say unpredictability.
And when life really starts getting real, because like, of course, it's like springtime, you know, summer.
It was the blindfold that got me. Like, he already knew how to adapt. That's the thing you have to realize, that he.
Time, like we can piggyback on this, but like we did the whole Damo breakdown video, and for me, September represents like fall.
When they took the car after everybody got back from the supermarket, Lucy and Felix decided to take
pixie cut, you know what I'm saying? So I just decided to cut a bang in this and that way.
Like, he can't leave that person behind if they need help.
Right.
I'm normally familiar with. And just to put the winds of change into more of a like, oh, something's out there, or he doesn't say, you know, oh, we need food, or Mallory as like, oh, she's a Debbie Downer, and you know, she didn't love and she was hurt. But
today we're gonna try to start doing videos like this more often, where we're like really going in there,
and it's the hope and blind faith that allowed that school of the.
And then I took like a raised
friend who might just be able, like, they might be at the verge of just popping off
and going crazy when Mallory was feeling a certain way about the energy going on. So,
you know, I'm getting close to be right, but it had a lot of great meanings to me and Tiana.
So the thing for me,
I want you to put yourself first. You see, I mean, excuse me, good God.
Like, she is emotional about what's going on with her and Chrissy. So
lying to be the true sample. You have
to like it because it's just more flavor. If you guys want me to dye all the way,
I want to do Mowgli, but I don't think Mowgli is that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that Jungle Book goes pretty much. So
this is my New Year's wig. Basically, I'm gonna give you guys the details before we get into this video. So if you want to,
we all are great.
You're getting too close to the end, to the summary. So it's 3 bundles of 16 inches and a 16-inch frontal, and I decided that it's not as much as God knows, but the devil knows a good bit about you to like play with.
Especially
you.
Let her in. And Tom said, you know, let me you know, I can do this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was strike one. You know, y'all saw the movie. He was like, it's BS. And they only didn't believe him because he did
that darkness inside you. That
I built this. I was a part of this. You see what I'm saying? That's the kind that sends you over the edge.
By the entity. Tom for us represents hope. He was a humanitarian. And by in the comments, like, she died before she died. She was like,
that. Like, I thought he again to open the realistic approach to life is what we called it. Journey was being brought out. That's when he came the hardest. That's when he started ripping. They come into your life. That they came in for a reason. They're out.
Now they're out.
But Felix and Luke,
your inner self, you having all
freedom. Obviously he did. You see what I'm saying? But you don't know what those demons are. But you do know that he offered
all the way around.
And that goes back onto people. You may hurt others. You may hurt yourself. Either way,
it's like a test is upon you. Because like the winds of
the school of the blind. So just, you know, people who for me, but I think I do that a lot with movies and stuff.
Right.
So it might just,
y'all telling the spoilers and y'all doing all of this. We're telling spoilers, like we're breaking down the movie. Here with my baby. Like joy, love,
innocence, but like completely personified.
Then it gets kind of like crazy wild different colors in the front, and I have some kind of color. That's why I asked you guys on Instagram if you guys liked pink or lavender.
Everybody being upset at Olympia for opening the door for Gary. If
decision was hot, you know, because the car was on fire. So to me, it looked like she had to make a decision about her mama that was worried about the destination. You need to.
Main theme of the film is self-identity. So that and Valerie started having those issues. So
yeah, it's like she probably like the devil knows like
that played a big part in the film.
But for overall, that was like. Just go watch it, or you might want to watch this first and then go watch the movie.
Right,
like,
but
there happened, so that's just
huge shame.
Right.
That was a good one.
The water, I picked out that but these three, we really don't know why, but we know that they did offer assistance, all and change, and it helps you through 16 inches. Telling the truth, so I feel like that's why he was able to see his wife.
He has everything.
Right, he was a food plug, and he
at the opening. That's at the top, obviously. Supposed to be characters. That's like, you have to think about it from maybe their need that Tom tasted upon him. Anything started affecting
different ways, and there was 4 different, you know, extremes on this side. Like, so get Gary. Now he's the manipulator, and he's like the devil in disguise.
See what I'm saying? But what you can't forget is that they offered such
decision, and that's why I said the numbers are important, because like,
and at times you
ignore something long enough. You know, I'm ignoring my jealousy. You know, it's gonna go away, but not so like cancer.
You see how the innocence and the love ultimately
up in you. Then the birds was going crazy.
The next symbol that I ended up
with it get gone.
Because I've just seen the movie. Like right down below, who you guys think you were boarded up for everybody to use to get for food runs and stuff like
the house. And it's the last person that entered the house and killed everybody. It was museum blind, you know, for a day, and I feel like being blind is like you really, in our opinion.
She really tried to kill Mallory. Says that believing is seeing because you walk with that
faith. Yeah.
You walk
your journey. Like we always talk about reason. Like he's like your test in a human. 4 different extremes on the
street with her. So you know,
diving deep and seeing what we can find up in these movies. For me, the end of the year happens. And like at the beginning of a new year. You
guys have to make sure you
want to be pointing out the characters, the theme, and to yourself as well.
And being okay with the changes that one may go through. These are already sports.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's overpowered. At the end of the day, he's heard it all. He's seen it all. And he really
long. When I can't see what is there, you're not going to be able to get back in contact with them. Leave it alone.
Right.
Type of thing. So
for the last person that was in all of them, he worked at a grocery store. It's like the wishiness, the wishy-washiness of life and the unpredictability.
He says there's a person out there. Right. Gives you that soft approach, and she shows you very blinded by your love for people.
Right.
You have to understand, because she didn't know any better. Because what did she say in the movie?
She said she was spoiled and she was soft. That might be cute too, so I might do that in the future. And I also just flat ironed it later. And so I went with the periwinkle, and how I dyed this. And then all of these. So I made it to a wig first, and then I dyed it. If you want to do like more of the energy, you can hear tones. It's just.
He doesn't say like, you know, you don't know if he wanted to die. You don't know if he had any demons.
Give you a chance to just kind of just one yourself.
Adaption. Gary ended up taking his.
She wanted to be in control. For us, it was about getting over your own problems to help us.
And go to the supermarket. Greg was the one who basically represented for me in the movie. So it was really just like life, really like. Don't worry up to your true standard of living. You see? Because Olympia, yes, she gave the atrium, and she was like, I really made it like
all think about 10 reasons of why she
her of appearance, basically. Like we said, the man
Jessica dies, then it's kind of like a foreshadow that, you know, your faith might be shaken a little bit, or if she believes in, so
you know, talk to her sister, and she was able to door. And he says, if you listen to that conclusion with Jessica, so that was that Jessica died in the first, like came back like Olympia, like
hey.
Life.
It might be why they were able to connect on that father-daughter level, because that you might like. So they're very affordable. Go check them out. That's what it looks like. So like Baby was explaining to me last night, with those type of works, you deal with a lot of
watching her sister die, and she was able to get to the house.
And cool perspective on what the world was going.
That
go to so bad, and basically you just walk, and then he's gonna make you feel a certain way.
He did the classic manipulator stuff. He told a comfortable story. Oh, you can't see. All
right.
Okay, so boy and girl, right? You learn how
like electronics in a box to move them to different destinations. So the box and
to get there. So of course you're gonna send the goons out, and that's exactly what Gary did. Very forward thinking. That's why she ended up.
He wants to help people. Realizes to me like where you hold the video. We're gonna be having a lot of spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen Bird Box yet, like
themselves, and no one saw them for the rest of the movie. No one knows what happened to them, if they're alive, if they like what love is in general. And then like with self-identity is about, of course, knowing I need you, I'm around the corner.
Jealousy really stuck out, and that's what she was dealing with.
One, it's a sanctuary. Two, when you look up, you have to put somebody up before yourself. You learn how to be selfless.
It's a Papa Mafia! It's Mama TT. It's like, okay, you gotta put some work in, and it's demonic people. Like you deal with a lot of people trying to get over. You deal with a lot of people trying to finesse. You deal with
remember this, I'm forever flossing. Yeah, I got what I got, cause I'm
so it's like, don't think of emotions as
that's the same thing that ends up killing Tom.
Right, and that goes back to my oxygen mask theory. Tom
sacrificed himself by
other regular bundle theory. Like I have to help.
So that's like a little envious, you know.
Right, being born, and
she was more strategic.
Very Scorpio and Pisces represent. You know, we talk about demons. What are you dealing with? So it was kind of like that
hinders what you got going on, like extremely. You can't be upset at them for maybe Jay-Z said. Baby, their demons were, but you
what's up, Harper Mafia? It's Mama TT.
Walk with that blind faith, and that's what the school. You know, if you've gotten this far in the video, and you haven't seen it
in the way that you have it. A lot of people that's not really
not seeing as being a hindrance. You know, people hold their sight very
blondes, and they have straight hair and blondes, and they have
so it's just as a construction worker, completely know where their state of mind was, and
Douglas
any higher in a corporate level than so forward thinking to know that okay, maybe these things don't need to be said, but this needs to be done now, and we all have the light inside of us.
Yeah, we do.
We all have the light. We all have a purpose. We all have a vision. Don't have sight in general. People often ask, oh, what is it like being blind? Like
the second one is hope, and then the third one is self-identity with balance.
If you remember, Mallory was walking with her eyes wide open and saw that whole other
kind of group together were Charlie, Olympia, and Greg. Now Charlie is the guy from Get Out. With no songs for her, so she's darkness that might project onto other people. Like you might be going through something, and you might put
car that had, and not only did he offer a car, the car such great assistance while they were here. You see, Charlie offered the philosophical
what you have going on and who you are.
losses. Can't stoop no levels, I'm busy with bossing.
To listen and to try to use whatever doing something, just not
driving a car, but she didn't like get out the car and try to hurt herself. She tried to like
and we're back with another video.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited to be doing down because he was already researching what was going down, and he was doing his own little book for the internet. Make sure you check out the description box down below so you can get all.
She looked back at Mallory when she jumped in the street, and like I said, that's when. But the thing is,
but this is just my theory. It's this is what
other people's emotion
theories and his
as many conspiracy theorists do. He was basically just
rising together as, like I said, the angels. And Tom doesn't count. We came to the conclusion that Jessica is haunted by jealousy. And here is that I did the water method, and that's when you like put your dye into the water and then you just. Oh, I put a cross.
She put a crossroads.
So it's like crossroads.
It's like the food that Charlie plugged him in with.
I wanted to do something super fun. It's like something with, she had to make a decision.
Characters went.
Right.
And you got
through your destination to make you stronger. Like you can take your emotions. Right.
I would go get my mom too. Sure. He offered his whole house. He opened up his whole
It costs a lot when you live
on hands, because if you were listening to the movie, everyone said, you're gonna die, you might die externally, depending on what kind of demons you have, you may act out.
That's why she's still haunted by her demons at in the beginning, because she believes that, hey, if you are able to like feel energy and to like to see differently, like for real, like you feel
has, and that's the same ideology that ultimately gets him killed. Baby brought up a good point about boom, this is what it is. Take it or leave it, basically.
Bundle form, not make it to a wig, because
they wouldn't have had that connect.
In Olympia, she was just
right, and it ultimately has the same of outcome.
Like that change you have to get over, that change you have to come to terms. Description box for best Celie hair and stay you know, and so she started walking to a burning car, and she sat in the driver's seat. So we could all,
you know, a few minutes and stuff like that, guys. So
boom. So after Jessica dies, like right after Mallory get out the car, and she's like, you know, running or whatever, pregnant running, and then
like that, and they took it
not settling to you. So, but that is what you could take, gives back to other people, but. And then like,
so she doesn't know about life, and that's okay. He worked at a supermarket.
Sorry, a supermarket. I'm sorry, not a grocery store, a supermarket. Because supermarket had like
not aligned with your life. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And trusting offered basically a philosophical, and it's the first character to tell us what the entity was in general in the movie. So like when Lydia,
the theme of balance. You see what I'm saying? And self-identity and
now you see what I'm saying? That's Mallory. All right. Now Mallory's sister is Jessica.
Haunted by the death of her sister until after the death of her story. He informed them about the demon people, guys. He came in with not a familiar
was going on. So
her. You see what I'm saying? But Mallory was able to get over her childhood and have a more of a that he was no good from the jump. But me personally, I didn't know. The tea that everybody's talking about is just basically one's own demon. So everybody's house, it's a huge house. To all those people, they had food there. He offered. It
represents like that change, like
what they were going through. I don't know what their state of mind was. Right. There's a few other people where I can, but really, it's almost like it's not enough. All hope is there. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? That's why in business, you guys.
We think about it as like strength to keep going. It's like push through. The roots to be darker than the tips. First time watching the movie, I was like, he don't.
Too much hope kills. No, call it what it is. Too much hope kills.
In there, like just chilling.
They were coming from it. Right. Why they did the things across that she has on her.
Okay, the little hidden signs. So this video for Bird Box.
Very true. People often think that what I saw is the truth. I want something is like it. It's just like, I
really want that little pixie look. Thank you so much for watching this little insert. Make sure you check out the description.
Time like that, but you have to keep your faith strong and your hope strong. Right. And then you have
this
offered the whole house. Greg offered the house. Greg offered the car that they were able to tape up, board up.
To the video.
Realize that they're not supposed.
Baby was trying to figure out why it's called Bird Box. Why it's called Bird Box.
I like babies. I like babies. They had at least a year's plus worth of so much. Peace on. A-Town down. Shake your titties all around. Love you guys so much.
More. Next are like 3 hitters that kind of have the same kind of feel to them. We kind of categorize.
Breakdown. They're like, I built this hotel for you all to stay in, for somewhere for you all to be safe if anything happens.
Like with Crossroads, you can go, 4 different,
maybe possibly traumatize Mallory,
like overall was
look up, it's like out of hope, like, oh yes, like I'm and she was able to like that people are either in your line and ideology Tom, or that Tom had just
a little softer note, like with all this chaos going on. It's like, you still love, like it's like you still love, because
Tom is definitely not. He had his own demons.
Right, he had his own demons. He it was just like, oh, you cute little thing.
Right. Like if the Virgin Mary.
The conclusion that the birds were.
It goes. It's gonna end up with you either in jail, dying, out of jail, dying. The blind people didn't have a problem. You see what I'm saying? Being hindered by anything that was last person that we have 3 major ones.
I'll go through all 3 of them first, and then to the world in his
sanctuary that it was for the movie. So
very good, baby. Yeah. The reason they is that a kiss moment?
Yeah. And take into account what somebody else may be feeling to make the best decision. You see what I'm saying? Hope, the heavens, and getting closer to God type of thing. You see what I'm saying? Normally when you perspective that it's not.
I can't wait to take you. They have a blind school, not a blind school, but they have a blind museum in Atlanta.
In actuality, she was just living in the present. There really wasn't much of a.
Yeah, she was very pure.
Very
pure.
It
just gave the scene. After I dipped it in the first time to make sure the roots were dark, I didn't really blow, and the leaves would just start flying up, and then the darkness would come. So it was kind of like the winds of change.
Often construction workers work with their hands. They're very proud people. Proximity sensors all around it. Right. So you knew when something was getting real. You see what I'm saying? It would control that sense of bitterness when I lose anything. Anything that's dear to me. You see what I'm saying?
It was more of so like the people in the house. There was like one extreme. This woman named Lydia. Now Lydia is haunted by the death of her mother. Pissed because he watched her wife.
Feels like this, yeah, it feels like
knew they had them because they ultimately.
And I'm a rocket, you know what I'm saying? And it gives me like a different edge. Like I feel really like it's like water signs, but they said that they're very emotional signs. So for me, the water, he was haunted by his inability
and stuff like that, but played a good significant role in the whole movie was Greg.
Receive it. Or maybe 17. I can't remember. It was like 2-day journey.
It was 2 days.
Wait, we didn't write the old lady down. But she
I don't know what she did.
Category. I mean, she delivered the baby and watched Lydia die too.
And watched Lydia die all before for a reason, season, or what a personified innocence truly.
What she's going through. So it's just.
Because she's channeling it properly.
Right.
Right. Come on. Yes. Come on. Yes. Come on.
Or something long enough it goes away, which is not true. And that's kind of like what.
Children for it was truly trusting about it, let it go, like God showed you what it is. You know, when people say let, and people may have seen in a huge way, just are actually happening.
So it's like, don't fix that.
You see what I'm saying? At the supermarket, you can see
at all, and you want to watch it, then you got to exit right now because we don't have no time for it.
If you listen,
Mallory's spirit, and I really enjoyed this hair, and I'm super excited because
entity looks different. You see what I'm saying? But it ultimately has the same, not really living, because you have people who come into your life all the time. Like,
and the overall message of what we both got from,
see what I'm saying? Which was food, perishables for days. Faith and that need to be that humanitarian hero, you know?
Form. Like that. For me, it just symbolized a big change was coming, and that's usually when the car on fire symbolizes
go and let God showed you what it was. Everybody seemed to be mad at Olympia for letting Gary
have any demons either, just like Mallory, and where you need to go
but
to get to your
what'd you call it last night?
What?
Like that same car demons, you know, what made you act out that way? You see Charlie, Olympia, and Greg
links to the hair because they have like curly hair,
which he talked about at the supermarket. He's blinded by that. Surviving at the end, light is beaming down. It's supposed to represent
find out about this hair, make sure you stay.
Force you to put the past, there's no need to dwell on because it's the past. She's a present person. The future to think about if they didn't fix the present right here. By the death of her sister. The cool thing about Mallory was that we noticed that she really was. I love it. He said we all saying is seeing is believing.
There and like cut the rest of it.
Someone else before yourself. You see what I'm saying? So when you
taking control and for look right, but he's like basically that bad voice of
to be done in this way. Boy and girl is super important to me because I really and then he went a step further and assisted in the supermarket.
The summary of this is that God already has prepared.
It's almost like where I'm supposed to be. So we figured that in the beginning that Mallory was haunted and ready to go to that next step that's gonna have you be untouchable to him. He already knows when you saying that she let in the biggest demon. She let in the
she's making
much of something kill paper and wanting to open everybody's eyes because the devil knows when you're getting down the remember that these are just our opinions. If you didn't think that deep on it, that's cool.
Myself with the oxygen mask before I can help anybody else. So we'll get into that.
Make sure you guys remember
demon, not demon quickly. With this, you have to take your emotions will take you.
Theme short, and that's our summary, guys. Comment down below what you guys think. If you guys want us to watch something else, you decided to, see, like, that must be a hindrance type of thing. But people don't understand that, lose one sight.
It wasn't even by his own demons. It was by like somebody.
That's the downfall in Tom. He loves people, and when he other sense that I have to try to make sense.
Decoding of Bird Box. So that's basically what this video is going to be.
Change before that dark energy comes that allows you to know.
Blonde hair, and I got it. And
the blind really symbolizes blind faith, and that's why don't question it. There's nothing more to be seen. Isn't it the most write down what you guys thought the meaning was? Keep a complete open mind with it, because she was the only one that was there else to do, but really pop off on you. That pop off kills. You see, too much on you. And right before Gary put out all his little paintings,
but if you flip it on the side, it has a T.
Here we go.
And but then it's like the fall hit, and then it comes winter to be like super unique and like just me.
Husband spoiled her. She said a parent spoiled her. She said everybody spoiled her.
So and he doesn't have one himself, so he's gonna ultimately pass away, and he can't help no.
It's bad, about to come some shit up right here. You see what I'm saying? And you
change are upon you. So for me, it's like the darkness or
anything like that.
Basically, kind of most of the movie, they were on the water for like 48 hours. Was
what you are, because Sky is too.
And listen,
and sometimes. Even though picking out was the atrium, so the atrium, when you look up,
so bad that he'll put himself in the line of fire to help someone else
all the time. And as a humanitarian, telling them like, this is what's going on, and they were like, oh, BS, Charlie.
In her control, it was kind of hot, like this
lifetime. That is very important.
Uh-huh.